Jess on his right. Hey, hold up. Don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Whoo! Good morning, Bakers. How's everyone doing today? We are back to familiar territory. Myself streaming from an isolated bedroom somewhere in Florida. So if the audio and some of the video or whatever sounds a little different, that's what's going on. But I want to see you guys. I want to see King BBD. I want to see everyone live in the chat this morning. Wyatt, Matthew Goldstein, our graphics, head of graphics, Matt in here, talking about the big sale this week. Every day, you guys already probably know we got a big promotions going on for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Beast Grills, Juice, Michelle Haley, Joe, Adam. What's going on, everyone? Happy early Thanksgiving. I am back stateside. I am back from St. Lucia. Had a delightful time. Awesome place. Kinda didn't know what I was getting into, just like everything else in my life. It's awesome. We turns out Jess, chose it because there's really good nature stuff there. So we did this awesome hike. The beaches that were there were like super secluded. We had just kind of these private beaches to ourselves. That was really cool. The people are awesome people. The proud St. Lucian people. The only people they admit party harder than them are people from Trinidad and Tobago. So shout out to them. But had a good time. I sent a picture. Maybe I'll send it to you, BBD. It's not really impressive, but it's just at the end. Because it wasn't all inclusive, but it was like you don't pay. It's not like you order a drink and pay right there. They just like put it on your room. So at the end, got a bill. Then yeah, it's just, rum punch, scotch, rum punch.
Sneaks up on
Teton beer. Yeah, I mean, it really did. It really did. So had a blast. Literally the only down part I got chewed up by bugs.
A lot of bugs there. It's a big bug place. When I went when I was a very little kid, like I was a baby. I was 8 months old. My parents went there. They said, I think it's been better than it used to be, but used to like go there and have to sleep in a bug net thing.
Yeah, so that was one of Jess's requirements. Her being a Florida gal originally is like if we're going somewhere, we kind of need AC. So the place had AC, which isn't necessarily an everywhere place down there. And the room, like you had a bug net, but in the room it wasn't bad. But yeah, I think when those private beaches I was just bragging about, I just got demolished, dude. Like first thing off the plane, like sprinted to a CVS to get anti-itch stuff. But hey, if that's your biggest complaint, we had a blast. So I'm happy to be back stateside. I am in Florida to see Jess's family for Thanksgiving. And I'm excited to chat some sports with you guys, catch up a little bit. Baseball, semi-hot in the streets, a little hotter this morning. Uncle Steve getting in the mix, and cousin Steven Matz signs with the Cardinals. A bunch of other pitchers are starting to sign. BBD, how are you doing, my good man?
Doing well. No vacation, but seemed like one other thing I wanted to say. It seemed like you got good weather. It's gotten cold here, like just legitimately cold. I think we're jackets the rest of the way now. So that's a bit of a downer. But we went to the zoo yesterday. We had to get creative with this week's office vlog. So I think that's coming out early because like Thanksgiving weekend and stuff, give the people time. So keep an eye out for that. I know Zach finished it at least. So maybe it's out today or maybe it's not out till Friday. But we had a great time. If you want the full experience, that was that. So you have to look at that video. But we were going around trying to, last week's JJR, we did the zoo animals lineups. We were asking guys where they think they belong, if they're interested. I tried to offer Tiger a franchise level salary. So yeah.
The Wander Franco. That's the other big news from the baseball world. And that is Tiger. Some people probably have no idea what we're talking about. And good, one less thing, because a lot of people in the chat do. I mean, we got the whole crew. Dino's here, Jared, Al, Michelle, Jill. You guys are the best. Evan Phillips, Mike Guy. Happy early Thanksgiving to you guys. Let's do a little baseball off the rip. So the Steve Cohen thing. BBD, you might have to correct me on this one because I am playing a little catch-up, was out of the States. And this happened in the past 7 hours, but Steven Matz signs with the Cardinals, 4 years, $44 million. Good for Steven Matz. This was a guy that was looking like a DFA candidate a year ago. Blue Jays traded for him, and the Mets basically they wanted 2 quadruple A arms at the time. That was the whole thing. Like, the Mets are going to need multiple arms, so they got that. Good for them, kind of getting rid of Matz. Matz ends up turning around with the Blue Jays. Blue Jays pitching coach, his stock keeps rising. But BBD, everything that we can interpret from Steve Cohen's tweet is that Matz was looking like he was going back to the Mets.
Yeah, it sounded like Cohen in talks with Matz's agent. Matz indicated to him that Mets were his number one priority. Unfinished business was a term Cohen used. So he thought, it seemed like in his head, he thought Matz was going to at least give him a chance to match anything.
Right.
Obviously, he was away from the Mets for this past year, but a little bit of a hometown. I mean, he is from here, so hometown and returning to the franchise, discount or at least opportunity to match. And I guess that didn't work out that way. The other part of it, apparently, Blue Jays offered him a 3-year deal. Cardinals went up to 4. Nice deal for him. He looked like he was on the way out of baseball. Now, 30 years old, gets a good deal.
Yeah, he Long Island guy. One of my good childhood friends from growing up, Kyle, is engaged to a Long Island gal, connected to their group of friends, and apparently they're connected to Matt, so we might have to link up with him soon. But yeah, I mean, this was a guy, I think when his salary was going to hit, I think he was coming up on like $6 million, $5 million. They were thinking about not picking it up. And hey, it's one of the old adages in baseball. If you got a lefty with a good arm talent, figure it out. And, man, if you don't believe in change of scenes in sports, I just don't know. You can measure everything you want, but sometimes just hearing from different people and getting out from where you are. So really good for Steven Matz. He goes to the Cardinals, 4 for 44. I tweeted out originally, it just seemed like such a Cardinal signing. I just picture, it's not going to be too flashy. They're going to get 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. So golf clap them off the mound. And then they'll go to the next guy. No fist pumps, just Cardinals, missionary sex baseball.
If he stays who he is between Wainwright, Jay Flair, they've got the front end rotation talent. Now they've got in the back, and by the time they go to a playoffs, you can kick him to the pen. Or he takes that next step and becomes the guy he was always supposed to be, and that'd be cool. So either going to get a good value or kind of just they clap and move on in 4 years.
It's really interesting. I love free agency. I loved when I played video games growing up. I would always do dynasty modes, and I'd usually start with a fantasy draft because it's all about how you assemble your team. The NL Central, I'm so genuinely excited to see where everything lands this year. The Cubs are supposed to be back in the mix. We'll see if they actually do anything to do that. They did the Wade Miley signing at the beginning of all this, which feels like eons ago. The Brew Crew, I mean, they're the defending dudes. Defending dudes, what?
They won the division.
They lose Avisail Garcia. He's a free agent. He's been a piece of that team. People have been wondering, are they ever going to make like the significant step up move? Kotuck's Pirates do sign Jose Quintana. You can hear the boys talk about that on Talking Baseball. I guess I'm semi interested to see what comes out from the rest of this Cohen stuff, because again, it's where this gets fun and a little weird. Like, I don't know, should Steve Cohen be tweeting that? I mean, we're kind of talking about it. It's the number one story on ESPN right now, so apparently people are interested in it. But
I think
I don't know what did Steve Matt's agent tell him? You can match.
That must have, I don't know. He said it was unprofessional, over the line. Like, I don't know what happened. And the other part that's, as messy as it gets, I think Steve Cohen had a quote like 4 days ago saying, I'm not going to tweet as much this year. I'm still going to use Twitter and be there. I like interacting with fans and having my thoughts out there. I think that was 4 days ago. I saw people quote tweeting it. So and then this morning he has like the whole thread.
It's hey, there's just some times where it's as messy as it gets.
It's just there's an element of if you could pick a team that this was going to happen to. Right.
Like even before you knew Cohen was the owner of the Mets and doing what he's doing, if I told you an owner which MLB
promised.
team did, BBD, before we go into, because they're actually, you and I were talking briefly beforehand, the Giants, they brought back some of their starting pitching. The White Sox try to bolster their bullpen even more, which has kind of had my brain in a rack. What? I watched Fargo, not Fargo. Oh my God. I watched Argo on the flight.
They rhyme.
You can see my confusion. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I guess I thought it was going to be a little better. The end's a little anticlimactic. Anyways, BBD, can we tell the people about Dugout Mugs real quick?
Wish you would.
Dugout Mugs, we've been telling you guys they're doing their BFCM, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. BBD was the first to crack the code on that, where if you text them, it's what, 85?
BFCM to 85311. BFCM to 85311.
85311. And you can win. They've got giveaway stuff. I think Mariano's in there. Whoops. How's your goat? You guys already know. We normally have the Dugout Mugs all over our set. I did not bring one to Florida with me. I feel like a human idiot right now.
I've got a couple. I've got a metal mug here. We've got the Wander Franco's team mug because he's going to be the only one there forever. Starting to think I might have lost Jake, so I'm going to keep reading. So, yeah, text BFCM to 85311. Enter Dugout Mugs Christmas giveaway, like Jake said. Kicking it off, giving away autographed items from Mariano Rivera, Pudge Rodriguez, Juan Soto, and many more. Other winners, all of the winners will be announced live on their social media, so make sure you're following them through Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Text BFCM to 85311 to enter the win. Follow Dugout Mugs on all social media. And as always, they are telling us they will sell out of product here soon. And when you text them, they'll text you back a secret discount code so you can get all your holiday shopping done early. All of it done early. So thank you to dugout mugs. All right, guys. Think I lost Jake. Gonna disconnect him and try to send him a new link. So a little bit of stalling, and there's a chance that this just this could be the episode here. Probably not. So I sent him a new link, but I'll talk to you guys. So yeah, JJR premiering simultaneously. JJR, the plan is to be live. Plan is to be live for JJR. At noon, back to the normal time. And here we go. Jake?
Hello.
Think we can hear you.
Do you got me?
Gotcha.
So my laptop just gave a full-blown, like, we're not having it.
Huh. Dead clown pewter. Dead phone too.
Everyone. Yeah. We'll. Oh boy.
Yeah. So didn't hear any of that.
Nothing.
Basically nothing. I mean, we could hear like noises.
Right. Okay.
Ooh, and it's not remedied.
Not bad. Let's mess with some settings.
Yeah, people are getting. Look at the rare robot Jake. Oh, there we go. We lost him. So anyway, yeah. So I killed Jake. He's he's passed away. Michelle, I'm doing great. Yeah, talking baseball's premiering. It's become a big day here. Because between the talking baseball that we scheduled out, we have to get a talking Yanks in, so that is theoretically coming later today. And hopefully JJR happens. I'm now a little worried about it. But we're holding up pretty good. I think if we get Jake's clown pewter working again, we'll be all right. But yeah. Jake's resetting his computer. I don't know if that means he's gonna come back. So that could mean, anything could happen. Anything could happen. He's got the big question mark. I mean, would love to chat. Grammy's doing well. Thank you for asking. What can I do here? I'm gonna double box me because that's hilarious. So you get two of me. We're having a good time. We all like to have fun here. This is becoming a bit of a Q&A. Trying to talk out. Figuring out what's happened. My all shower team. I haven't showered with that many people. Yeah, kind of like the baseball team in high school. We didn't do that. So I didn't do that, and I quit the other sports when we got to the age that it's oh, you're gonna have to shower with people. So that happened. Is Jake back?
Are we talking about showering?
Yeah, people were asking about showers.
Okay.
Asking about my shower team. I think you're back. You're massive. So I'm trying to I'll daint you a little bit.
Yeah, looked like a tight zoom on the face for a second.
Yeah, we wanted to fall and it was huge.
But what have I missed?
Nothing really. I was doing just a little chatting, trying to figure out a solution. I think we landed here. So
Yeah.
nothing of substance.
So
Finish
yeah,
the ad.
laptop gave me a full spinning wheel of death. Actually, it gave one of those. Have you ever had the box pop up that says like, "We're going to close computer programs on you"?
Ooh, yeah. Like there's nothing you can do about this.
Yeah. Yes, it gave me the death box. I clicked out of it 3 times, and then it gave me the Matumbo no. So anyone that stayed with us, I thank you. I will get back to the chat in a second. Again, wrestling some tech, but let's chew through some fun stuff quick. The pitching market continues. BBD's San Francisco Giants. Alex Wood and DeScalfani are returning. Man, those are 2 guys that if you look at your stats, you'd be like, oh, I didn't even know about all that. And Giants running it back, which is fun because honestly, that is going to be one of the biggest stories. Like once free agency is actually done, which who knows, that might not be until the middle of spring training, but the Giants are going to be one of the stories because let's be honest. I mean, not a lot of people are going to believe they're going to run it back. I mean, almost no one is. Buster Posey's out. They traded for Chris Bryant. Are they going to make a big splash in free agency? There's been rumors about Scherzer. There's been rumors about them doing whatever that big splash is because they were ahead of schedule. But I don't know. I'm, again, excited to get to that part of the offseason, but that just feels so far away. And I mean, BBD, if you put Matz and DeScalfani's stats next to each other, do we know what kind of comparison does that look like? Because
I can pull up Disco.
I mean, top of my head, I'd think DeScalfani was better than Matz last year, but
by ERA plus, Disco was a 129 and Matz was 115. So a full package of the season, Disco's like a tick above, but like a full tick, but it's in the same ballpark, I'd say.
Yeah. So, and his contract ended up being what? Was it 2 for 34? 3 for?
I feel like I recall him getting 3. Let me pull up. I can find out real answers.
I love real answers.
Gossman's a free agent. This isn't helpful. Alex Wood, I think, got the 2-year deal. So I think Disco got 3 years, 36.
3 years, 36 for Disco,
Yeah,
444 for Matz. I mean, yeah, I think you'd want Disco there, but I guess that brings up the whole lefty conversation, which why do we still have that conversation? But I don't know. Fun that the Giants are running it back with a lot of their same guys. Who will they add? Because Buster Posey, man, Buster was so good last year. And he was also a chunk of money coming off the book. So, like, they are going to make moves this offseason. Just don't know. Man, if they somehow snake Scherzer, Dodgers fans, absolute nightmare.
It seems like they're going to have to make at least, 2 more additions to the rotation coming into spring. And ideally they're at the front end. And Gossman's still out there, who they like. So yeah.
Gossman, yeah.
Right now,
yeah.
With Webb and Disco 1-2, I guess if Wood's starting, and on the roster resource, Wood's not accounted for, as far as I can tell.
And I mean, if they've got to be willing to pay 20 plus for Gossman, which means that plus Posey's money coming off, plus they traded for Chris Bryant and he's a free agent. San Fran is in the game, and that's what I keep circling up on free agency. I mean, there's still players left. The pitching market is moving. There's still a lot of players left. But, man, I think when you start crunching the numbers,
Like, again, look at the Mets. Like, look at Cohen's tweet this morning. The Mets want to make significant moves. The Yankees want to make significant moves. The Dodgers, the Giants, Blue Jays. I just don't know if there's like Houston's always in the mix. I don't know. I think we're going to be sitting here at the end of this free agency, and there's going to be two teams that we look at and we're just like, like you guys wanted to make big time moves and it did not happen. What else from the baseball world? Wander Franco.
He gets the big
I guess
deal.
that's is there really much of a, I don't want to say controversial conversation to be had around it, but it seems like it's the same conversation every time, right? Like, good for him. He takes the money. It changes his life. Bing bong. If he waited it out, there's a chance he could have made a lot more money. Like, that's the convo.
Yeah, I mean, with the, like, I think, yeah, if he waited it out, I'm sure he could beat these numbers, but this extension's such a big number that it's like, I think you take the security of this right now.
Yeah, I wonder, I mean, for Tampa, it's huge as a franchise or a fan base, the fact that they're doing something like this. I mean, that's incredible, we think.
The only other like big deal they've done is Longoria, unless I'm missing somebody.
Did they ever pay Carl Crawford, or did he?
I think when he hit free agency is when he bounced to the Sox.
He went to the Red Sox, and then they dumped him.
Maybe
it's
he got
huge
a
for
little
Tampa.
Extension? I don't think so, though.
I guess the thing that would be really funny is if, like, and I don't want to do this to Tampa fans, but let's say if behind the scenes there were some dirty Tampa's going to move to Nashville rumors, and like this was part of the incentive. Like, oh, Wander's going to be here for a decade. You've already got a star signed on your team. I don't think that's happening, but I don't know. Get the shower thoughts going.
Can't rule it out.
And yeah, I guess the one thing that I always punch back on these early contract extensions. I mean, hey, Albies and Acuna, like those ones in hindsight look awful. Those two guys, if they stay good, they will have a chance at another really big contract, which, I mean, fingers crossed. But that's the whole point. Like, Wander Franco has played, what, half a year of baseball? And he looked really good, and he should be really good. And Tyler Glass now says on the Rose rotation he's the best baseball player I've seen at his age. But, like, baseball's a tricky sport, man. Couple injuries, you know, if there's a hole in your game or something starts changing, that money's not there. That money's not there. Like, I know Matt Harvey is not the right comparison, but I'm sure, and maybe it'll be a good Jolly Olive assignment, is to like who are the young guys that came up and could have signed a massive deal like this, and it wouldn't have, like, we always jump to the other one. We always jump to Wander Franco might have left a ton of money on the table. Like, who are the guys? I know Scott Kingery is kind of a rude example. And hopefully he figures it out.
Sign it before you even debut deals that came into fashion briefly, and I think we haven't seen one in a little bit. By I mean like in a year or two. Maybe someone's gonna get it soon.
I guess I would be very interested to go through history. Like, I'm trying to think of when, like, Jeff Francoeur first came up and he set the world on fire. Like, I don't know how many of those guys are really out there. But it's a lot of money, and that last year option, I think that's actually really important. And I got caught in the spin cycle about that because I think the last year is a $40 million option, right?
The site I'm seeing is 25 mil, which is ahead of the 2033 season. Wander Franco will
Guys,
be 32 years old.
This is so much money. It's so tough to put yourself in the mindset, because at the same time, if you're comparing 300 million to 200 million, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
But it's hard for us to compartmentalize that.
This is one that like has a chance to very much come back and bite the Rays in the butt, because he's gonna make 16 mil a year essentially for over a decade. I mean, that's real, and that's big enough that I don't expect him to. I think he's really good, but if he does flop, then that like fully is not movable. And I think the Jeff Franco comparison is apt. They both played 70 games. Franco was 21. Franco was 20. He had a 126 OPS plus. Franco was 129 this year. Franco and Franco. Wander plays the more difficult position, so you think at least defensively he'll be like worst case scenario. He at least can play. Obviously at that salary point, it's not good if he can't hit, but he has shown every ability to hit, and everyone thinks he'll get better. All that
monster prospect, shortstop, all of it. Like I'm not, if I was the Rays, I would have locked him up to this contract. Like
you get excited
without a doubt.
It.
But yeah, man, I guess I don't hear enough people talk about the risk. I did it when Tatis signed. And I'm normally not that guy at all, but like a lot can happen, man. Like think if 1 year the scouting report changes that you're just not getting in on inside fastballs, pitchers will hammer that, and you'll have a bad year, and then maybe you adjust and then do something else. That like baseball's a 6-6 sport, so I'm happy that he's getting paid. And hey, if I guess what's going to be the real test, and he would have hit free agency at 26, 27.
Yeah.
So
20.
If he's a bona fide stud, then
he could have hit free agency right before his prime
that's when
years.
we'll be sitting here.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the true test, because if he is the best player in baseball in 6 years, and he would have been a free agent, then yeah, I mean, who knows? Would that have been a $500 million contract? I have no idea where baseball will be at. I have no idea where he will be valued at. I just know this: he is guaranteed that he is going to be a crazy rich person forever.
Yeah, from his end, we talk about
forever.
We talk about the chance to like maximize shit, and he's making very, very real money. Like usually these deals like don't like the big extensions. Like in the past, you used to have to like prove it for like 3 years, but I guess now guys can sort of sniff free agency coming, so that's why. Like the Acuna extension, if he had flopped and didn't turn out to be a perennial MVP candidate, he signed 8 for $100. So you do the annual math. It's not an immovable contract if that one didn't work out. If Franco doesn't work out, just the concern is that would be not movable from a team perspective. But he's cool and good.
He is cool and good, and it'll be good. And yeah, I mean, Acuna, I feel like he was still due to hit free agency at age 30, which
I think he's going to still get a
that's
chance.
A big number in baseball right now, but yeah, not if you can be Ronnie Acuna, and I guess the same with Wander Franco. So I don't know. I think this is going to be an interesting litmus test for baseball in the next next 15 years. So when I am in my mid 40s, we'll have a good pulse on how these massive contracts play out and how they potentially could have played out. But I don't know. I just like, how often do we talk about free agency and the timing of it and how important that is for you? Like this takes out any of the risk. Yes, the team has high upside, but also the player, man. Like when your head hits the pillow at night, you're good. Like you're 0 for 4, don't worry about it.
Yeah, the job security is like a very real thing. You can just focus on playing and having fun. We've been talking about the Acuna one. The Albies one is the one that's like really sucks for him. Like he's making straight up $7 million a year until 31.
What was that?
That one's one that's really. He got 7 years, $35 million. That one's really bad. 2 club options. Like I think no matter what, $7 million, they're not going to flinch at that. Even if he takes a step down, I mean those are going to be his 29 and 30 seasons. Like that one's bad. Acuna, he's $100 million is $100 million. I mean he's gonna be more than happy there. Like the Albies one, everyone's got to shake their head. And now Franco's making more than them combined, but.
Yeah, that's that Ozzy Albies one. I don't.
That's the one that's like
that one will never make sense.
Yeah, Acuna, you had a chance to just lock yourself into $100 million. I'd have a hard time turning it down. And it opens up more long-term money, whatever. But man,
Ozzy, little monster. Any other baseball? Any other baseball, BBD?
I'm trying to think if there was. Kendall Graveman. Did I lose you?
Graveman to the White Sox.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I think there's funny business going on downstairs right now. I'm a little nervous. I did my Chris Rose free agency draft. And I thought they were going to make another splash offensively because I do like one of my favorite phrases is make your strength a strength. And I thought the White Sox might go out and get someone like Marcus Semien and just go full death lineup. Like our lineup is going to be gross. We got some starting pitching. We've got some bullpen. They went with the bullpen option, which I'm surprised. Us also being Yankee fans, BBD, I feel like you've heard me say it a bunch on Talking Yanks. I think the one of the big areas the Yankees feel like they got duped or baseball moved quick around them was how much money they had in the bullpen. I guess part of the Yankees' problem with that is that Chapman is strictly a ninth inning guy, or at least in his head he is. I've heard Liam Hendricks and I think Kimbrel at the time said it, and Kendall Graveman, that they're willing to pitch anywhere. But yeah, I mean, it seems like the White Sox, the formula they're putting together, because I mean, we haven't even talked Kopech and Garrett Crochet. They had a couple other dudes down in that bullpen, and that's before you get to the Lance Lynns and Giolito. So, like, White Sox feels like we mentally, because we gave them the whole, like, hey, you guys are going to have to prove it, and then they didn't prove it this postseason. Like, we've forgotten about them a little bit, but, man, that roster is stacked.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
I think Kopech, I think, is supposed to jump back to being a starting pitcher this year, right? Because he missed the 2 full years and pandemic, all that. So I guess that there is more of a hole in their bullpen. So they get Graveman, and it's not a crazy deal. Obviously, it's an investment into the bullpen, which is, as the Yankees be seen, kind of not work if you invest too much. But 8 per for 3 years is kind of like a fair risk for them. I don't know. I don't think they're going to regret that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
if they need to move them, that's movable.
For a big franchise, that contract is no problem. It's just you would have expected other teams kind of jump to the forefront for Graveman because he could easily, if he's slotted as the third best option in their bullpen, I mean, he might be the most expensive third option in any bullpen. Like, baseball has very much changed in that way. So good for the White Sox. They are still a juggernaut. Juggernaut might be dramatic because, like we said, we're not necessarily scared of them come October. But talent-wise, I mean, how many times do we say this year this was the best team on paper? And who knows if they're done. Like, they locked up a lot of their young guys are already locked up. Luis Roberts going to be there forever.
Does
Man,
Eloy have a deal?
White Sox are really good.
Really good. And they, in theory, the Tigers are poised to take a big step forward, so maybe they'll actually get some, like, tests this year. The Twins shouldn't be miserable like this year where just everything went wrong. The Guardians they can still pitch, and Jose Ramirez, so they're not, hopefully they're not in, like, the pushover division anymore where they can, like, coast the whole way. That seems to have been, and who knows if that's a real problem, but everyone's been saying it, so we won't have that excuse next year, I guess, ideally.
Like that for them. We'll find out. And yeah, like that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, all these, like you just mentioned, the Tigers, they are supposed to have a significant free agency. They could sign the biggest free agent contract this offseason. Or, like, you could also see the Tigers doing nothing.
Yeah, it could be just nobody believes in that vision and whatever.
I'm obviously using nothing lightly, but we're talking about them signing Carlos Correa for $350 million, or they could just not.
Yeah.
Like,
and they could they could sign Simeon and he can't stick it short for more than next year, and they do whoever the riskiest starting pitcher is. I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
Risky starting pitcher. Robbie Ray's still out there? What's he doing?
He's still free.
Is he about to get paid? That was a lot of baseball and some internet choppiness. I think do have to start kind of moving and shaking just a little bit. And Thanksgiving is a huge football weekend. Michigan, Ohio State plays this weekend. I think they're the 2 and the 5 teams. That's a Saturday game. Get excited for that if you want to get into the college foosball. And I think Cincinnati plays Friday night at ECU. Right now they are in the Final Four. So, like, you know, the Final Four, the college playoffs, I think all of us wanted to be originally really excited for that. I guess if you want to maybe a preview, check out Cincinnati. Let's see what they look like. And I think that's one of the only games in town on Friday night. Thanksgiving Thursday, NFL football on your TV. Bears, Lions, bang biscuit. How's your 12:30 stink bowl? I think America's rooting for the Lions. If they could get that first win on Turkey Day, that'd feel like a real treat. Justin Fields in Chicago. It's in Detroit. Good for them. That's fun. Root for an underdog this Thanksgiving. Raiders, Cowboys. They're the next slate, the 4:30. How about them? They've been struggling. I think their wide receivers, they had like a COVID outbreak. So, yeah, the D teams, Detroit, Dallas, Thanksgiving, used to that. We'll see if the Raiders can give them any fight. My Raiders are in a death spin of sorts. And then Bills, Saints at night. The Bills, man, they were, I think it was 3 weeks ago, they were the Vegas favorite to go to the Super Bowl. Like, they had the best odds. Josh Allen was killing it. The defense was electric. And the Chiefs, more importantly, looked terrible. And then since then, the Bills lost to the Jaguars. They beat the Jets, sure. And then they got ran over literally by Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. How good does he look? A lot of best RB in football text. The So that's the Thursday night slate. Bills Saints. Taysom Hill just got a massive contract. What's going on with him? He was on the bench watching Trevor Siemian, I think, not look good for the Saints. And then they gave him this massive contract that has 2 contracts in it that if he gets the starting quarterback job, he gets X amount of money. If he doesn't and he just does weird Taysom Hill bullshit, he gets a different amount of money. Like we might have to get that. We might have to get that actual contract and give it to Jimmy because he loves contracts so much. That one might blow his head off.
Whoa. This is the first I've heard about it. I just missed that story.
Dude, just like I've never seen an organization love a guy so much that the outside world is just like,
He's locked into $40 million total.
Right.
And if then he can get up to the 55 more mil. It seems like it's based on snap count. Whoa.
And it's like where he plays. Like if he plays quarterback, then he taps into different money, which is like, well, if you guys think he can do that, go and do that. Like I don't even know what that is. Is that like if Aaron Rodgers picks your team next year, you save money? I don't know. It's one of the oddest things in sports. I need it better explained to me.
It seems like he might have had a previous
Bills
extension
and Saints,
that's
that's
out.
your.
What a weird man.
Yes, like good for him. And then this weekend, I'll try to give some highlights. Steelers Bengals, sure. It seems like that can always be messy. Bucks Colts, that'll actually be a fun game. Titans Patriots. Hey, I know I kind of stole the information, but I passed it along to you guys. How about the Patriots? 7-4. They're 6.5-point favorites over the Titans, the 8-3 Titans. Patriots are like real. Eagles, Giants, no. Sorry, BBD. Falcons, Jaguars, no. Jets, Texans, definitely not. Broncos, Chargers, ponies off their bye week. That could be a good game. Packers, Rams. This is the big one. In Lambeau, the 7-3 Rams. I think they're coming off their bye. The last time we saw them, Trevor Plouffe got embarrassed at the party in San Francisco. Okay, so that's the 4 p.m. or that's Vikings, Niners. Those are 2 teams that are on the upslope. They're both 5-5. It's in San Francisco. Man, whatever team wins that game, people are going to be really hype. If the Vikings or Niners are 6-5, which one of them will be, people are going to be very much on the hype wagon with them. Brownies, Bengals, Sunday night, sure. How about it?
Ravens.
Little AFC Ravens, excuse me, little AFC North matchup. Man, remember when everyone was killing Cleveland? Like they're 6-5. I know. Like, I don't know. I know it's not crazy impressive. They snuck by the Lions last week, but like, you're still the Cleveland Browns. You're still the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry. Sorry, Chris Rose. Monday night, Seahawks, Washington. Nope. And then what? So Monday is November 29th, and that was the other MLB news, by the way. The non-tender deadline got moved up, so there's potential for a flurry of signings from November 28th to December 1st. We'll talk more about that on Talking Baseball, I suppose, which, by the way, all JM team came out today. Saw the people excited for that already. You should. If you've got your Thanksgiving drive coming up, the all JM team is definitely a winner.
It'll eat a good chunk, too.
Oh, yeah.
We've never done a more important episode.
Buck Churdy 5. Let's see. Do you have Bro of the Night, BBD?
Oh man, such a good question.
Comment of the day. I had it all up, and then my computer died. So I could try. Our last episode was Taco Tray Kirby. A lot of people were excited about that. Thank you, if you were one of those people. If you if you live in that NBA lane, yeah, you were gonna like that crossover. He is a good dude, silly, on our wavelength. I think you should leave type humor out of Taco Tray. He gets in on a lot of those posts. Bro of the night is I'm giving myself a bruh for all the bug bites. It's honestly disgusting.
You know, when I'm in doubt, I like to go to our Knicks and find a talking point on Bro of the Night. So I'm gonna go to Evan Fournier. He's been getting kind of ridiculed by the Knicks fans. I mean, he had a bad Chicago game, but the last two games besides that, over 50% from the field, looking a lot better. Over 50% from three. So he's looking to, like, he's starting to come back into who he's supposed to be. A little bit. Also, like, Russ is still capable. That was, like, our big takeaway from the Knicks game last night against the Lakers.
Evan Fournier in his bag get. Saw that on the Knicks Twitter sphere. Guys, I think we kind of got to wrap it up. I have to go to the bathroom pretty bad. I'm pretty hot from the computer being on my lap. You guys are the best. Happy Thanksgiving. Back to normal schedule next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Watch everything on JOMBOY Media. There's a compound out. Laughing Giants, Jason Garrett fired, I for one am shocked. Mansplain baseball. JJR coming up after this. Some talking Nets, talking Yanks, talking baseball, Knicks. Breakdowns, LeBron suspended. Thanksgiving.